Tonight, we have a exciting topic for you all tonight. The title is How Being Woke is Killing Relationships. Woke. Talk about wokeness.
And all that entails. Actually, inspired by a great question that we received. Check on in on our mics. How we sound? Oh wait, sounds a little echo. Echo. How's that sound? Hmm. I'm telling you, our restream's been acting.
No, that's it. Mm-mm. That's just this. That's the echo. Is the phone
You sure?
positive?
Okay.
Yep.
Well, so let's hold on, check on Instagram. All right. Oh, we have a request to join. We will certainly get into that real quick. We want to answer this quick question that kind of heads on to the topic in particular. The question was very simple. It just says, why does marriage sound great for men but horrible for women?
Yep.
Ha! I thought this was I like this question. I'm going to tell you why. Because this answer actually involves us diving into an ideology that we haven't directly talked about on this channel as much. And in particular, you see, believe it or not, this whole statement of, marriage being for men, it's really just a regurgitated narrative from a book that came out in like 1982 called The Future of Marriage. And guess who was the author? A noted feminist. Her name was, let me make sure I'm saying this right, Jessie Bernard. And see, this book in particular turned the whole covenant of marriage and gender roles and, well, more so the perception of natural gender roles completely upside down. It just fed hostility between the man and the woman, and it completely devalued the family that now we see has been pushed into a relatively revolutionary process that is not of any benefit for our society, but it quite simply does include this whole woke ideology that it really has done nothing more than taught women to suppress their actual genuine feminine identity, which is to be loved and to be cared for and to actually love and care for their family. But this whole woke uh, ideology that has been pushed has really like brainwashed women. And I'm real passionate about this as a woman because I see what has been done to us. And it's really like brainwashed us and ripped out of our minds the whole idea and the concept that, unless we have a career or something, we're not worth nothing,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. Before I go on my rant, what you got?
Nothing. No, I'm listening.
What do you think?
No,
About this
this
question.
is something that I always agreed with in what you're saying, that the whole narrative of women has been pushed, to brainwash and get them out of the homes, and also to separate men from family as well. So it goes both ways. That there is of course, a narrative, quote unquote, agenda that has been separating families
Mm-hmm.
for generations. To be honest with you, in which it is making it difficult to build happy communities, healthy communities, etc. Healthy children, with the whole mental stable mindset for children to have, seeing two harmonious people, men and women, coming together and raising families in this society. It's been kind of being it is being whitewashed and brainwashed into thinking that we all don't need each other, which
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah. And the reason why I tie it back to that book in particular, for those who don't understand, in particular, this book pushed the whole idea of his and her, right? It completely broke down the concept of marriage and coming together being a teamwork effort. And in particular, the whole woke mindset is really women who come to believe that men and women are equal, right? That we are completely equal and interchangeable at that, right? So women can do what men do, and better, and men can do what women do. You know what I mean? And it's like they don't allow for any real sex difference that truly, genuinely exists. And instead, it dumbs all that down and says, oh no, we're interchangeable. Anything you can do, I can do better. And in particular, this whole idea really does create this mindset that goes into a relationship, so that then a woman believes that, we got to be equal in our relationship. And ultimately, that breeds competition. Because then you start checking, who's doing what. You're measuring how much I'm doing in the relationship, how much you doing in the relationship. Oh, I'm putting in more work than you. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, versus understanding the true meaning of a relationship, the divine concept of a relationship that actually came from the understanding that we are unique individuals with, in particular, very unique characteristics that we bring to the table to actually create this beautiful, divine, harmonious, complementary union. And instead, you don't think like that. It's like these people operate in their relationships from this idea of, oh, we're roommates, like everything is hers and mine's and yours. They don't combine finances. They don't look to jointly plan together. It's all about what I do and what you do. And, that's just, this whole concept has really just changed how we view relationships, how we operate in relationships. It's given women the whole idea, the simplicity of, if a man doesn't do exactly how I operate, right? The whole idea of, I hear this so much. Men need to be emotionally intelligent. That they got to operate like we. Where's this emotional intelligence? Not really understanding that, hey, to be honest, sure, it is important that a man knows how to express himself, especially when it's needed, right? But men are different from women in the sense of how they express themselves. So, for example, to make this a little easier for some people to understand, I think of our relationship. And in particular, I would see how, if I was upset about something or like angry or something like that, how you would go sometimes and do stuff around the house or fix something or do something that I needed to be done, so I wouldn't have to do it later, as your way of showing me, hey, baby, I care, hey, baby, I love you. It didn't mean that you had to verbally, with words like women do, because we talk, it didn't mean that you had to do that. But you as a man was doing that as an action-oriented way. And women have lost that concept of understanding. And that is what this woke mindset and woke mentality has done. And it's unfortunate.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's lost in translation because there is a lack of example. And that's what I'm understanding about all of this as we go on and give people more advice about relationships, is that some people have never seen this before, the dynamic of how men and women naturally work in relationships.
Right.
It has been lost for the past 30, 40, 50 years because of what you're talking about here.
Yeah.
And you're right on. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. And, to be honest, women, we in our natural femininity, we've had so many videos on what it means to really be feminine, right? What it means to really be masculine, and how it's completely different. And it's so funny because it's like women want men to behave like women. And then when they start to do it, they start throwing around this concept, oh, sassy. Oh, that man's sassy. Like, what? Like, that's literally what y'all are asking these men to do, because you don't understand the natural role of a man, their unique characteristics, how they operate. And instead, it's so funny because it's like natural biology of a woman kicks in, and we're like, ugh, like, I don't like that. Like, why you acting like women? Like, ugh.
Right.
But
I mean, and also, too, you have the other dynamic of men who were raised by women.
Right.
Who are still having identity issues and trying to figure out what a man really is. And so you get that combination of sassiness, because that's all they know how to act, as far as sassing back with you and arguing back with you, etc. So
they didn't have that example of a true man, and what that looks like. And it's really, really sad, but I'm really happy to actually have this opportunity to talk about stuff like this, because we don't really get into these whole the whole idea of feminism and all this other stuff, because honestly, truth be told, we're more into putting in solutions, because part of the problem is we focus so much on these issues and no one offers these solutions that can actually help us to learn how to create these healthy families, how to have these healthy marriages. Because that whole concept of, oh, marriage benefits men really more than women really just comes from the fact that men and women weren't taught how to, or given the support in how to have a healthy marriage. Instead, they were given the resources to leave the marriage. They were given the resources to get out, the quick opportunity,
Right. It's incentivized not to be in a marriage.
Right.
In some cases.
Exactly. And that, this is what we see. This is the actual breakdown of it. But again, the beautiful thing about God is that God will often have to destroy some things in order to create the new. And that's really what we see going on right now. In this new earth that is being created, all these ideologies that no longer fit are being broken down. They're really being destroyed so that then we can come and not only wake up to what's wrong, but actually wake up to how to do it right. And that's really why, I thank God for this mission purpose that he has bestowed upon our life to do what we do. So that then, the truth is happy couples around the world really understand this. But for so long, couples have kind of been silent about it and not really, talking about it so much because it's always been the idea of, keep your home private. So then that way, don't nobody mess with it because it's been so messed with. But in reality, we need other couples and other people to step up and help our community create healthier families, to actually help our community to understand how men and women operate so that we can do this together and not be pit against each other, because that's all feminism does.
Right, and also too not to quit so easily in the relationship when things go hard, when things get hard as well, because you see that all the time. Women are leading the statistic in divorce, whether by 80% women initiate divorce in a man and woman relationship. And then the funny thing is that now, those women who are hardcore feminists who choose to be in relationships with each other, their relationships end in divorce 75% of the time.
Right.
As opposed to men and women, which statistically is showing, 60% or
a little under 60. Yeah.
54%?
Yeah.
54%. Yeah. So even that's not working out for women as well. So
yeah, you're just not happy.
Well, also too, it's not a natural. It's not natural.
Right.
So what we're trying to do is get women to understand that the natural role of the women is the best probability for success in having a relationship overall.
Yeah.
Happy relationship, happy life, happy household, successful children, successful community, successful, environment, successful world around you. That's a formula. Yeah. It's always stood the test of time. There's no other way to explain that to people. Bottom line, it comes down to whether you care or not.
Right.
That's what it really comes down to. That's the bottom line. Do you care about a successful community, a successful family, a successful household? Is this something that you really want in your life? That's really what it comes down to.
And people genuinely too are not happy. You look around on these TikTok videos and stuff like that, and these women are like, who sold us out to this? I know y'all have seen them. These videos saying, who sold us out? Why do they sell us out like this? I want to be at home taking care of my family and my kids. I want to be focused on my relationship. I want that soft life, right? Whatever the heck that is. But that whole ideology of, being home, taking care of your kids, being loved for, being cared for. What feminism did, though, was brainwash the crap out of women to suppress that natural femininity and take on such masculine roles to then, not only now do you have to go out in the world and compete with men, with other women, but then you got to come home and do the same things that you had to do anyway when you were just being a wife and a mother. And you were actually happy and fulfilled. But they have done such a job on our community in the idea that, being a housewife or being a stay-at-home mother is less than. You're not providing any value. We've had a video where we particularly broke that down, and I really do suggest a lot of women to go see that, the benefits and in particular the advantages of actually being a stay-at-home mother and how it really does benefit not only yourself, but your children and generations to come, in particular in our society, our communities, because I'm blessed and grateful for you providing the opportunity for me to be a stay-at-home mother and wife, we are able to give back to the community in this way, which is what we have long been able to do as stay-at-home wives and mothers. These are your, your Sunday school teachers, they work in the food pantry. You have always been able to then afford the opportunity to not only care for your family, but care for the community as well. You don't get that anymore. Who's out here caring for the community now? Who was doing that? People have forgotten those roles, that beautiful role of being a mother and having a family. And it's really sad, really, really sad. And in particular, I just think of, this whole woke mindset really does make women and men keep score on each other of like who's doing more housework or who's working more hours or who's caring for the kids more. It's like you're focusing so much in that small mindset.
That's called micromanagement.
Yeah.
Those are the same attributes that you're taking from your career and you bring it into your household and you're trying to manage your household the same way, which that is not natural at all.
No.
I understand, management skills, but when you impose that type of things on your husband and try to make him your employee, often at times that does not work out well. And you hear that a lot with men and women who nag and all this stuff and such, that it becomes stifling and it prevents the growth of relationships of a alpha female, especially if she's marrying an alpha male. That does not bow out well. It really doesn't. That ultimately those type of things end in divorce unless something happens, something changes. And more than likely the man is not going to become a beta male just to sacrifice and save that relationship. Ultimately, of course, we preach counseling. That needs to be done. But, the natural order of things is for women to be able to fill that natural role of, her femininity. Being
helping
able
the man to be that way.
Right, exactly. Being that supportive role to that man and whatever that may be, whatever you all decide that to be in your relationship. And that's what when we talk about pouring into your man and things like that, you don't see a lot of that today in society and what is wrong with that. And, a lot of times you talk, you spoke about the finished product and women wanting men who are already made, that's not realistic. That is not realistic at all. So, that is what's going on. And that's what we're talking about here today with this wokeism culture dealing with women and households and relationships.
Yeah. And it really just encourages you to be discontent with life. It really encourages women to believe that you're getting the short end of the stick, like leaning into your natural role as slavery or abuse. But quite naturally, as we start, seeing now women are waking up to this and waking up to that natural calling within themselves, and that, they want to take care of their families. They want to be at home. They want to prioritize their relationships. I mean, you look at these women who climb the corporate ladder and have reached all the success, and then they're like, dang, I want a family, like I want kids, It's always that natural deep earning within them. But it's like, again, feminism has just completely brainwashed women into believing that their natural biology is something that they need to suppress, and that, it's not good enough. That, they don't need this, or they don't need to just focus on that, or you can't be fulfilled caring for your family, when in reality, you can really be fulfilled with that. And it's important that you just are able to allow yourself to be fulfilled with your natural roles. Because, what we're seeing is the result of, women and men really unhappy because they're not able to have those relationships. There's so many studies that have just shown the benefits of marriage. And the reality is we didn't need, we highlight the issues in marriage, and we highlight the problems of not understanding the man and the woman. But the real reality is men and women need this support in order to have healthy relationships. They don't need to be encouraged to turn their back on each other and fight each other, or, instead you really need to understand how to create that healthy marriage. This is why we do what we do. This is what makes what we do even more, fulfilling, because it's important for men and women to know how to do this. This affords you the opportunity to then create a better life for yourself. Studies have clearly shown, like, you live longer, you are healthy, you have more successful and more fulfilled lives than those who aren't married, Like, it's so many studies on that. And the reality is there has been a real deliberate manipulation of this fact. And the real issue is that instead of just pointing this out, we have to, show the benefits of marriage and provide those solutions. And in particular, for this lady who asked this question, there are a number of benefits that include both emotional, financial, and social well-being for women as well as men. Women don't get the short end of the stick. To be honest, that's a part of the brainwashing that they have done on our society. Marriage provides a sense of companionship and support that both the man and the women are able to have in a time where it's really, really needed, especially when things get hard. Look at this society that we're in. It's nothing better than to have somebody by your side to help support you during this time with emotional support, comfort, and encouragement. We need that to keep going, right?
Right. And then also, too, the marriage also helps couples to create a marriage vision, a shared vision for their future, and to work together to achieve their goals.
Yeah.
And one of the goals I always think of and talk about is retirement goals. Contrary to what a lot of people believe, we don't make enough as far as the salary goes in order to have enough money to retire. So when partners have shared values and goals, it creates a strong sense of unity and purpose in their relationships as well. And one area in which marriage helps benefit is retirement. You're able to save more money, you're able to create more money, and also be more resourceful when it comes to money. So
yes, yep.
And also, too, marriage can encourage couples to develop better communication skills and conflict resolution strategies. So this can lead to more satisfying and fulfilling relationships, because it's hard to master these things alone on your own. And so how do you know that you're able to start a relationship with somebody unless you actually want to, and then learn what it takes to actually be in a long-term relationship?
Right, exactly. And that's the result. What we're seeing is the result of couples or people in particular not knowing how to communicate in a healthy way.
Or not wanting to be in relationships. They're running around gaming people, gaming women and men in order to just, get their selfish needs met.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these people who ask us for advice are running into, or people, they're saying, I can't find nobody good. All these people are toxic. And if, one of the reasons why we weren't raised right, we didn't have both of our parents, like I said before, to see that dynamic. And so therefore we grow up traumatized and have all these scars. And so therefore we're only out here for ourselves.
Yeah. And not only that, because a lot of people were raised in those single family homes, they're dealing with abandonment wounds that they often project onto the opposite sex. So if you didn't have a good mother, you didn't have a good father, you're now projecting this in the society, and the media perpetuates such a narrative of gender, just gender war. Right? So you naturally just get more, and it's feeding you more and more just to go against each other. When in reality, that's not
it's a detriment to yourself.
Exactly, not the best.
You get those people who want to be don't want to be in relationships and try to gain. Like what I was saying, you date somebody and try to get all the money out of this person, and then you go and you just jump ship and leave that relationship.
Yeah,
that's the end result of
creating broken homes.
Right, and that's the end result of that's one of the end results of what we're talking about here, of people who not wanting to really actually be in relationships.
Yeah, and how it benefits not only just men, but women as well. I mean, studies have also shown that married people tend to have a lower stress levels and anxiety than unmarried people. We are 100% talking about healthy marriages. This is what we're talking about here and the benefit of it. And in particular, this is due to the social support and companionship that marriage provides. You don't have that unless you are in the covenant of a good, healthy marriage. And that is quite unfortunate. It really, really is.
And then a marriage has been linked to increased happiness and overall well-being. So married people tend to have better physical and mental health, as well as greater life satisfaction.
Yeah. And why, I just want to throw this in there. The reason why I really wanted us to be able to point out, the benefits of marriage, because in order to challenge those thoughts, in order to not only just deprogram yourself from this whole, wokeism, feminism, all these isms, In order to deprogram yourself, you have to educate yourself more about the benefits of marriage. You have to do this. This is how you go back and you reprogram yourself to the reality of what is really healthy, what God has really wanted, and the whole purpose. Marriage is way more than just what people think of a contract that you do with the state. Marriage was a covenant that was created by God in particular. So there's so many benefits of it for the man, for the woman, and to think that it's anything less is, you're just doing a disservice to yourself, to be honest.
And marriage can help couples to pool their resources and share expenses, like I was saying before, especially in these hard economic times, which can lead to financial stability and security. Marriage, yes.
Yes.
So when couples make financial decisions together, they are more likely to make sound and responsible choices because we're thinking of each other. So this can help to prevent financial problems in the future.
Yes, it really can. And of course, married couples definitely tend to save more and to accumulate more wealth than unmarried couples. That is a known fact. You look at, especially when you look at all the billionaires, the millionaires,
and billionaires.
Yeah, they are married. Most of them are married.
80% of them are married. A majority of them actually married before they became millionaires and billionaires.
Yes,
and so that's what that says is that extra help, that extra team member in your life will actually increase the possibility of you one day becoming a millionaire.
Yes, there's so many benefits, so many. Again, of course, marriage really does help to reduce that risk of poverty, especially for women and children. So for the young lady that I'm pretty sure it was a lady, but for the young lady that wrote this question of what is the benefit of marriage for women, hello, I mean, look at it. Married couples, especially if you have two incomes, if you are out here working, doing your own thing as well, you are less likely to end up in poverty. And in particular, when you look at stay-at-home mothers, they have a great ability to save money, to be resourceful. Anything from cooking and saving on daycare and all of this is certainly a great benefit for yourself. So women certainly do benefit in so many ways.
Yeah. And marriage can help to strengthen social ties and connections. So married people are more likely to be involved in their communities, like we said before, to have close relationship with friends and family, which is important in times of need.
Yeah. And in particular, again, like we're saying, we're trying to deprogram you. We're trying to reprogram you here because, to be honest, the reality is marriage is still a socially desirable status. Married people are more often seen as more mature, responsible, and successful. And when I think about you, when you go apply for your jobs, it's always a great thing when as we grown in our life, when you highlighted the fact that you were married and you were working hard for the family and you had kids and stuff. Employers love that stuff. And in particular, some of them won't even allow you into their social circles unless you have shown that level of discipline, that level of responsibility, that level of commitment. Mm-hmm. Because then they know that, hey, this is a guy and a man of his word, and that really is a huge benefit.
I mean, more so also too, they look at the fact that he's going to have to come to work because he wants to provide for his family.
Yeah.
Or she's going to have to come to work because she wants to provide for her family. She has a goal. She has something that's driving her. He or she has something driving for them every day when they wake up out of the bed to come to work.
And they're less likely to just up and quit, and leave in particular, And I mean, to be honest, married people also are less likely to experience that social isolation, that loneliness that very well accompanies, especially when you look at, COVID. And that time where people were then on lockdown. That was a hard time for people to have to go through alone in particular, because you didn't have that built-in social network in the form of your spouse and your family. This is a benefit. Don't let society keep brainwashing you into believing that marriage is not a benefit. It really, really is. Really, really is.
Yeah, but then studies have shown that married parents tend to be more involved in their children's lives and to provide a more stable and nurturing environment. Mm-hmm. And so this can lead to better outcomes for the future of your children in terms of their education, social development, and health. I would say even also too overall careers,
Yeah.
career-wise as well.
Their futures,
Yeah.
their social impact of their minds and their ability to then go out and create healthy relationships for themselves, because they don't have to do as much work
Right.
of
Discernment
and getting rid of
and
trauma.
the guess, and also to the
Yeah.
guess and check on whether this person that I'm dating is the right one for me.
Yeah, and have the example of these gender roles and what
Right.
that looks like, and knowing, hey, this is how a man operates, this is how a woman operates. All of this gives you a leverage in society. We have got to stop just thinking, oh, we can go out here and do it on our own and figure it out on our own and all this other
Or
stuff
just
when
do
you were
whatever I
never
want.
meant to. Yeah, you were never meant to do that.
Right.
You really weren't. And to be honest, again, I truly believe that God, God is gonna come in and help shake some things up, and I really see it now as things are unfolding, so that people can get that wake up call that they really need.
Right.
Let's talk about woke there, because you're gonna really wake up to the reality of life when things happen back to the natural form of things.
Well, I mean, I think everyone is feeling it. They're feeling it. The tightness of living paycheck to paycheck, and how hard that is by yourself, and understanding that we all do need help. And then what better form of having help is finding a reliable wife or husband in order to help and grow with you, in order to help with these financial situations.
And having that healthy family. In particular,
Right.
we wouldn't push marriage and stuff without giving you all the tools to really help you succeed, because that's what we see was really missing within society right now, and within our lives of growing up, things we have to learn and be able to have the benefit of imparting this knowledge and providing this wisdom and things and lessons that we've learned and apply for other people to be able to do that as well. It's a huge fulfilling thing to do what we do, and I'm really excited for the impact that it makes, because overall marriage really does provide a number of benefits for both men and women. So please take that time, deprogram yourself, reprogram yourself, so that you really can see the value in marriage. And to be honest, if you're willing to really put in the work, it is possible to overcome these negative beliefs and these negative associations that they have pushed to us, and to really develop a more positive outlook on marriage. It really is possible if it's something that you want to do.
Mm-hmm. And you can start by challenging your negative beliefs about marriage, those negative thoughts. So what negative beliefs do you have about marriage? Talk about it. Well, like, what do you want to bring to the table as far as what you think, why marriage is so negative for you? And then once you identify these beliefs, you can start to challenge them. So ask yourself if these beliefs are really true. So are they based on your own experiences or on the experiences of others?
Yeah.
If these beliefs are not based on your own experiences, then they may not be accurate. What truth do you have to prove this?
Yeah, just don't take what everybody says. Like these whole woke ideologies, these feminism ideologies, these isms.
The toxicity.
Yeah, just don't take this stuff for face value. Right.
Persuading women that they don't need men for nothing.
And I mean, men too have been, the opposite end of the spectrum is I see men have been hurt by these concepts that have been just perpetuated in the culture so much that they are also rejecting women. And my heart goes for our genders, because we are just so pit against each other. That's really what fuels me, because to be honest, it doesn't have to be this way. It really doesn't have to be this way. So really take that time, re-educate yourself, learn about the benefits of marriage, talk to other married couples that can offer you a positive, happy mentality on marriage and perspective on marriage. Spend actual time with happy people so that you can start to see the value in marriage yourself, because a truly happy couple will tell you all the wonderful benefits of marriage. They should truly want you to experience it for yourself as well, because what it allows and the expansion that it allows for you to as a person is so beautiful, not just for yourself, but as the community as well.
Yep, and the more that you learn about benefits of marriage, the more likely you are able to see the value in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So focus on the positive aspects of your relationship. So if you are in a relationship, focus on the positive aspects of that. And what do you love about your partner? Ask yourself that question. And what do you love and find so special about your relationship? So when you focus on the positive, you are more likely to see the value in your relationship.
Yeah, and I think this is really important, because what the woke culture and feminism likes to highlight a lot is the problems, and not just trying to see, okay, well, why is this way?
Right.
Why
Or
is
trying to solve the
right,
problems,
right? What does this
instead
really
of
come
running from them.
Right, and
Right.
also understanding that it's not, men are not going to think like women. Men are not going to operate like
And it's
women.
okay.
And yes, and you shouldn't want that. And in
Right.
fact, they don't, because women go, and again, like we said earlier, they label men as sassy
Right.
when they start to do that.
But even with the statistics that come out with women, want men to act like women, and then those women who actually get into relationships with women, it doesn't work out 75% of the time. So you have a 1 out of 4 chance probability of being successful with someone who with someone who thinks like you. That's the funny thing about it. So evidently what the opposites is what keep people together.
Yeah.
That attract, or what you call the opposites attract. That is a natural law.
It's complementary.
Right.
It is. It's beautifully complementary.
There's nothing out there that can, disprove that. It just is.
You need that uniqueness of what a man offers, the uniqueness of what a woman offers naturally, and allowing that to just come in and create this beautiful teamwork, right? This beautiful team of where you're both playing your roles naturally and it just working out within its own little way. Also, I really recommend taking the time to talk to a third party, especially if you are, having some issues overcoming your negative beliefs about marriage, whether that's like a therapist or a counselor, or, maybe even a coach, a consultant with us. Whatever will be helpful for you to really see where this programming may have came from, the root cause of it, and what it has done to you, and then being able to develop strategies for overcoming it. That's going to be extremely beneficial. So we really recommend doing that and challenging these beliefs, because don't allow these narratives to kill relationships. It doesn't have to, and you don't have to let it do that for you. Just embrace what the beauty of it.
And then also to talk to your children about these situations as well, natural relationships, and set them up for success, and letting them know and understand where you failed at. If you yourself are a single parent, give them the truth. Let them know how hard it is by yourself raising that child, or raising them up to be an adult. And let them know that, hey, single mothers out there, let them know that, hey, I can't teach you how to be a man. That's something that your father is supposed to do. It's something that your father is supposed to help out with. And, for your daughters, let them know that, hey, your mother is supposed to teach you how to be a divine wife, a divine woman in that aspect. So, let your children know the truth about relationships and how naturally things are supposed to work.
Yeah.
So we had a comment?
Yeah. We did, but it was a question, but it is not in there.
Oh, okay.
It was not a question, but a
somebody wanted to join
live. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions, any comments that they want to share with us here? Anybody want to join live? Do they have any questions?
No, I don't think so. Maybe we answered it. Again, this was a good opportunity to kind of dig into the question that we had. So hopefully we did answer and address what we were talking about to whoever had anything.
No, I don't see anything nothing on YouTube tonight. Yeah. But no more. We really appreciate you all joining us, and we hope that if you can, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Please share this video, especially to anyone who needs to hear this, who may be struggling with whether or not they want to be married, and then understanding how beneficial it is. So, Blueprint family, we will see you all tomorrow. You all have a wonderful night.